We are officially starting. All right, this is a big thing, and it's really useful to understand how to do this, right? Most people don't. Most people graduating from 9th grade Algebra 1 classes struggle with this stuff. It is a piece of cake, but you got to understand it, right? Right? It's not just like you can't just sort of guesstimate. You've got to really understand it. All right, so there's a few things that you have to understand first. And first and foremost is what is a quadratic equation and what do those things mean? I don't believe I don't have enough time to do all this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to look at, for now, the anatomy of a quadratic expression. This is equation. This is an anatomy of a quadratic equation, right? That's what we're looking at, okay? So boom, that's what we're covering. First, there's actually a lot we're doing. We're also going to learn how to graph. So if we have this, I'm realizing I probably should have done something different for the homework.
Oh, hey, I know. I think I just figured out how to do a problem.
All right, so let's just talk about different things. First of all, the A. The A, all right, it tells you a couple things. If it's positive, okay, so for the A, if positive, which it is, whatever. If it's positive, if A is positive, then it's so happy because it's thinking happy, wonderful thoughts, and you have that happy, smiley feeling inside, and it makes your graph happy and smiley because it's positive, right? All right, so you got it. If positive, graph, you have a smiley face parabola.
Yay!
Right? Yay!
Optimism.
But unfortunately, not everybody's always happy. So if A is negative, unfortunately, he's thinking negative thoughts.
Be happy, eh?
And he is having a very bad day. And he has a frowny face, right? Frowny, what is it? How do you spell frowny? Frowny parabola. Parabola.
What if he's in a
Right?
and he's smiling?
What if he's what?
He's unhappy.
So, meaning a smiley face will look like this, and a frowny face will look like that. Those are the two kinds of parabolas you can get. Now, A actually tells you something else as well. Does anybody know? You know what A also can tell you?
The meaning of life.
It can tell you, guys, it can tell you how fat or how skinny your equation or your graph is.
Well,
right?
what can?
A can also tell you that. So it tells you this, it tells you this. It also can tell you how fat or skinny. Parabola is.
That is not. That isn't a.
Okay? For example, if A were a large number, if A is large, for example, like 10, right? Like 10x squared, right? If it's large, 10 or 20 or 100, right? Parabola will be skinny.
Oh.
Parabola will be skinny. All right? If A is small, for example, a fraction like 1/10, right? That'd be pretty small. 1/10 A, 1/10 x squared. Parabola
Is fat.
is fat,
That is logic.
right? Yes, it's logic, right? All right, so that's A. A tells us a lot of stuff, right?
Wait, why is a smaller one fatter than a larger?
I'll show you. Well, if we have time, we'll graph a couple and you'll see. We're not going to have time to do, I'm not going to give you this assignment. We're going to finish, we'll do this tomorrow, but I'll make up a different one for you. I think that it won't be too hard. All right, now B, because understanding this anatomy is really important before I actually go into harder graphing stuff, and I kind of wasn't thinking. Okay, so
B.
B,
Yay.
B. B tells you, let's see. What B does is it moves your vertex left and right. First of all, understand what a vertex is. A vertex is the point where it turns around. That is your vertex.
Yeah, can you think of it like the vertex is like, so if you have a parabola, it's like exact middle, and so if you have like a mirror there,
Yes.
it'll be the intercept.
Yes. So if you envisioned a straight line going up from the vertex, right? That parabola is exactly a mirror image on each side. Does that make sense? It's like it's a mirror image.
It's totally exactly mirror.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so B. Now, so B, what B does with a graph is it moves the vertex left and right.
So it moves the variable.
Moves the vertex left or right. Now, you have to have a special formula, right? You have to use something called the axis of symmetry formula to find this, how far it moves to the left or the right. And I'm not going to teach that right now. But you do have to know that axis of symmetry formula is what you use to figure out. B, it's not like a number. If it says 8B, 8x, it doesn't mean you go over to the right 8. It doesn't work that way. If it's -7, it doesn't mean you go over this way 7 and you move the vertex over 7. You have to follow a formula to know how much you move it over. And I'll teach that to you. Well, should I just write the formula down so you have it in your notes?
Sure.
All right, this is the formula. X equals -b over 2a. That's the formula,
Yeah, I swear.
okay?
You know everything.
And that's all B does. B just moves it left to right. That's it. Nothing else that B does.
I think I'll give it one.
So A wins so far. A has the most stuff that it does, right? B, right? C, oh my God, C. Let's see, what does C tell you? What do you think? Oh,
Gary,
I know what
your
it
phone battery's
does.
low.
What?
Your phone battery's low. I just heard it chirp.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I didn't, okay, thank you. I
Because
was
you
looking.
didn't charge your
And
phone.
I didn't
No,
charge my
while you were
phone,
sick.
right.
Yeah.
I slept somewhere else last night. Okay, so C
You slept
C.
somewhere else.
is,
That's a
actually,
little creepy.
what is C? If
Where
I
is
made
it?
X 0, you guys know the answer to this. If I made X 0, what is C?
1. No, that's an exponent. Never mind.
What would Y be if I make X 0?
There will
C.
be
Ah, what is it called when you make X 0 to find Y? Finding the
zero.
Y
Intercept.
intercept, right?
Oh
You're finding
my
the
God,
Y
it all
intercept.
connects.
When X is 0, Y is that number. It's C. So C is your Y intercept. It's right there, right? C is
C
Um,
is mx plus b.
is the Y intercept. That's big. That's big. We know that that's a point. On every graph, whatever C is a point of the parabola. That's huge.
It's not y equals mx plus b, it's just b.
It's
Okay,
like
thank
Y,
you.
yeah, it's like Y equals mx plus B. The B part of the Y equals mx plus B. It's sort of like that because it's the same thing. The cool thing is it always works. Finding the Y intercept is making X 0. It works for parabolas and straight lines. It's awesome.
It all connects. And I see
Yes.
multiple triangles.
Yes.
It's Illuminati.
No. Oh wait. Is that me again?
Yeah.
I gotta
Yes.
change that sound
No.
sometime. Okay.
Wait, is
C.
that me again?
C is the Y intercept.
It's all
C
Illuminati.
also tells you something else.
Triangles.
Guys, this is really important. C also tells you it moves the vertex up or down. Okay? So moves vertex up or down. Yeah, up or down. Okay. So Does everybody have that on their notes? Can you take a picture real quickly, Michael?
Take a picture of my.
So I can erase this stuff, and we're gonna start graphing.
Gary, there are so many triangles and it all connects. I must compare you to a
What
picture of a
triangle?
lizard.
I don't see triangles.
Illuminati.
Illuminati! Oh, yes!
Confirmed.
What
Confirmed.
triangles do you-
Okay,
Look at the X's, the 2, and the plus signs. Everything's
should I smile?
Angles.
But they form triangles.
Well, they don't. They're
Multiple
missing a
triangles.
side. They're missing
That doesn't matter.
Did you get it? You got it, okay. I can erase.
Illuminati.
Okay,
Oh, Illuminati.
No.
Yes.
I don't know. Shut up.
You don't know how Illuminati work.
okay.
Yes, I do.
So we're gonna guys, guys, we're gonna talk about graphing. This is a good way to begin.
Is this
Graphing
something
using a T-chart.
Oh no.
And Sebastian, you've used T-charts before, right? In graphing, do you know what a T-chart is?
T-shirt, yes I do.
Where you have an X and you have a Y, and it has a T, like you've got this big T. Okay, so this will be good for you because it's a great way of graphing. Now let's say I wanted to graph y equals x squared. That is about as basic of an equation as for quadratics as you can get.
What?
Now, when you're graphing a straight line, how many points x's do I usually have you?
3.
3, right? You only need 2, but the third one is just
Oh.
sort of an assurance to make sure you're right. You know what I mean? Because if all three, when it's a straight line and all three don't line up as a straight line, you know one of them's wrong. Whereas if you get it wrong and you only have 2, you didn't know that any of them were wrong, right? So you definitely get it wrong. At least if you do 3 points, you know you're getting something was wrong. So you got to go back and check them all and find out what's wrong. Yes.
I think I know how to find the answer for this.
Okay.
It's an easy
How do I say
one.
it?
Go for it.
Okay, so like whatever your X is, you multiply that by itself and that's the one.
That is correct. That is correct. So we are going to choose our x's. Our x's are called independent variables. Our y's are called dependent variables. Is the dependent variable because our y is dependent on what we choose for x. Okay. So what we're going to do is instead of choosing 3 points, we are actually going to choose 5 points. All right. And the first point is -2. Next one is -1, 0, 1, and 2. Did we do this?
Oh, generic numbers.
Well, like, no, I
All right.
think
Well, we might have a long time ago. I might have explained it, But anyways, so if x is -2, what is -2 squared? -2 times -2.
4.
Positive 4. All right. What is -1 squared?
1.
Y is 1. Positive 1.
0.
0 squared is 0.
1. 4.
1,
4 1 0 1 4.
4. What do you notice?
It's a pattern. Oh, it's the exact same.
What is the exact same?
The Y.
If they're opposite sides, it's the exact.
When x's are negative, y's are still positive. When x's are positive, y's are positive, right? And the numbers correlate. Look at that. -1, 1. 1, 1. 2, 4, -2, 4. That's
Gary,
interesting.
It's a
That-
mirror image like a parabola.
Yes, exactly!
And
It's a mirror image like a parabola.
It's not.
I've placed it here. I'm paying him $20 an hour to be here, guys, just so you know. Right? But that's just, don't ask me for money, okay? Stop! Okay.
Give me all of your
So-
money.
Alright,
Give
so
me the
we
monies.
have, so let's graph this and see what happens. Let's graph this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That sounds like enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. -2, 4. -2, up 4, put a dot. Okay? -1, 1. -1, up 1, put a dot. 0, 0. 0, 0, right there. That's my origin. 1, 1. Over 1, up 1, put a dot. Okay, 2, 4. Over 2, up 4, put a dot. Now you connect the dots.
It's a smart
So that
face.
stuff you did in 2nd and 3rd grade is now useful. Suddenly, see all these lights are flashing. You're understanding the beauty of childhood, right? Now you know what to do. You got your dots and you connect them. I didn't connect that one very well. You got the idea, right? So that's a graph. That's a parabola. All I did was this. Now, what do I have? Remember, this is my equation. This is my full quadratic equation. I have y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. What am I missing?
The B, X, and C.
I'm missing my b and my c. Am I right? Yes? I don't have a plus. So b is 0, really, technically, and c is 0, really. If it's not there, it means it's 0. Now, if c is my y-intercept, it would be 0, right? So is my y-intercept 0 over here in this graph? Look at that. It is, right there. That's y at 0. My y-intercept is 0. So sure enough, plus 0, right? 0x plus 0. The b is what moves my vertex left and right off of the y-axis. So if there's no b, you're on the y-axis. If there is a b, it moves it off the y-axis. Make sense? That's pretty cool. That's really good information. I was never taught this as a kid, just so you know. I learned all this stuff without being taught this basic stuff. It helps. If you know this stuff, it'll make a huge difference. All right. My C is 0. It's right there. What time is it? It's time to go. All right, last thing. What am I going to say? I know. So now what if we're just going to graph ones without the b's? Now what if I said, what is y is equal to x squared minus 4? So I could move this all down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a dot. Right? That's my y-intercept, isn't it? That's my C. And look at this. I could use this. I could start here. This is the guy, I call this guy standard parabola guy. Sorry, I know we're going a little bit.
Thank
Okay,
you.
standard
That says
parabola
per.
guy.
That says
Alright.
per.
This is what I call standard parabola guy. I get it from the x and y t-chart thing. And look, I pretend. So pretend vertex is origin. So think about it. I'm going to go over 1, up 1, and I put a dot. Over 2, up 4, and put a dot. Now I'm also going to go the other way. Over 1, up 1, put a dot. Over 2, up 4, put a dot. And look what I have. Now, if you didn't understand that, you can always just redo your thing. If x is whatever, you've got to create that. But the trouble is, you've got to find the place where this would equal 0. Right?
It looks like a
So
like
it's easier.
mega
It's
smiley
easier
face,
to
like-
use this. If you figure out if it said plus 2, x squared plus 2, I go up to 2. This is my dot. I go over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4. Right? So you see what I'm doing? Over left 1, up 1, over left 2, up 4. You getting that? Well, it's because we have a little time. We're done.